Imagine having everything you could ever dream of: a magnificent palace, endless riches, delicious food, fine clothes, loving parents, a beautiful wife, and a newborn son. Yet, one day you leave it all behind. Not because you lost it, but because you realized it could never bring true happiness. This is the incredible story of Prince Siddhartha, the man who later became Gautama Buddha. Over 2,500 years ago, Prince Siddhartha was born in the kingdom of Kapilavastu. His father, King Suddhodana, loved him deeply and wanted him to become a great king. Soon after Siddhartha's birth, wise sages visited the palace. They made a remarkable prediction. They said the young prince would become one of two things: either a powerful emperor who would rule the world, or a great spiritual teacher who would guide humanity. The king feared the second prediction. He wanted his son to inherit the throne, not leave the palace. So he made a decision. He surrounded Siddhartha with luxury and comfort. 3 beautiful palaces were built for different seasons. Music, dancing, gardens, and celebrations filled his days. The king also gave strict orders that Siddhartha should never see anything unpleasant. No old people, no sick people, no suffering, no death. The king believed that if his son never saw pain, he would never think about leaving. For many years this plan worked. Siddhartha grew up in comfort and eventually married Princess Yasodhara. Together they had a son named Rahula. From the outside, his life looked perfect, but inside, Siddhartha felt something was missing. He began asking questions. Is this really all there is to life? Can wealth truly make a person happy forever? One day, despite his father's wishes, Siddhartha left the palace to explore the city. What he saw changed his life forever. The first person he saw was an old man. His hair was white, his back was bent, his body trembled with age. Siddhartha was shocked. He had never seen anyone grow old before. He asked his charioteer, "Will everyone become like this?" The answer was simple. "Yes, my prince. Everyone who lives will one day grow old." The prince could not stop thinking about it. A few days later, he went out again. This time he saw a man suffering from a terrible illness. The man was weak, crying in pain, unable to move. Siddhartha asked, "Can this happen to anyone?" The charioteer replied, "Yes. Rich or poor, anyone can become sick." The prince realized that no amount of money could protect a person from disease. On another journey, Siddhartha saw something even more heartbreaking: a funeral. People were carrying a lifeless body while the family wept with grief. Confused, Siddhartha asked, "What happened?" The charioteer answered, "The man has died. Death comes to everyone. No one can escape it." For the first time in his life, Siddhartha understood that every human being must face old age, sickness, and death. The happiness inside the palace suddenly seemed temporary. Then came the fourth sight. He saw a wandering monk. The monk owned almost nothing, yet his face was peaceful, calm, fearless. Unlike everyone else, he did not seem trapped by the worries of life. Siddhartha was deeply inspired. He wondered, if suffering is unavoidable, perhaps there is a way to overcome it. That question changed everything. Not long after, Siddhartha looked at his sleeping wife and newborn son for one final time. He loved them deeply. Leaving them was the hardest decision of his life, but he believed that if he discovered the truth about suffering, he could help not only his family but the entire world. In the middle of the night, at the age of 29, Siddhartha quietly left the palace on his horse, accompanied only by his loyal charioteer. When they reached the edge of the forest, Siddhartha removed his royal jewelry. He took off his expensive clothes. He cut his long hair. He gave up his title as a prince. From that moment, he became a humble seeker searching for the truth. For years, Siddhartha studied under famous teachers. He practiced extreme meditation and severe fasting. Sometimes he ate almost nothing for days. His body became weak, but he still had not found the answer. Finally, he realized that neither luxury nor extreme suffering leads to wisdom. Instead, he chose what he called the middle way, a balanced path between the two extremes. He sat beneath a Bodhi tree and made a powerful promise: "I will not rise until I discover the truth." Through deep meditation, he faced fear, temptation, and every distraction of the mind. As the morning star appeared, Siddhartha attained enlightenment. He became the Buddha, meaning the awakened one. He understood the causes of human suffering and taught that suffering can end through wisdom, compassion, mindfulness, and right living. For the next 45 years, Buddha traveled across India teaching people from every background, kings, farmers, merchants, and ordinary families. His message was simple but timeless. True happiness does not come from wealth, power, or possessions. It comes from understanding the mind, letting go of attachment, and living with kindness and compassion. That is why Prince Siddhartha left his home. He did not leave because he hated his family or his kingdom. He left because he wanted to find an answer to the greatest question every human being faces. Why do we suffer? And how can we find lasting peace? More than 2,000 years later, his teachings continue to inspire millions of people around the world. His journey reminds us that sometimes the greatest treasure is not found in a palace, but within ourselves.